children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hey, it's time to heil some Hitlers and dust up your jackboots because we're going to the moon and Nazis and dinosaurs and reptilians and everything under the sun. That's right. It's Iron Sky 1 and 2, the greatest double feature Final Guys will ever feature. But before we get to it, as always, I'm joined by Jason Brant.
You forgot Hollow Earth, man. The best part.
Oh, Hollow Earth. I'm so sorry. Admiral Byrd would be so upset with me. And we have Campisi.
Fly me to the moon.
Oh my God, I'm so glad we did this. I was just giddy.
Yeah, I had to watch both of these back to back.
I did as well.
Oh, God.
Because I saw the first in like 2013 or whatever, so it's been a while. I mean, this is the year of Hitler, by the way. Did you guys see Jojo Rabbit?
I did. It's one of the best movies of the year.
It's, to me, the best movie I've seen in a while. That movie is amazing. So it's great. They're both making fun
Did
of
you say
Hitler.
Jojo the Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo
Oh,
Rabbit.
How do I not know what this is?
It's amazing.
How are you like a stay-at-home mom and you don't know everything about pop
Don't
culture?
know. This is bothering me that I haven't heard of this.
It's a World War II. It's a World War II
Taika-
comedy about this kid in Hitler Youth and Hitler's his imaginary friend
I
and
saw,
stuff.
Yeah, I
Taika
saw a trailer for
Waititi.
this. I didn't know it was called Jojo Rabbit. Okay.
There's a reason.
It is tremendous.
All right.
Yeah. So, as touching, as amazingly well made as that is, these movies might just be as good, if not better.
Perhaps more poignant.
Whenever you can get a T-Rex in, that's always poignant. So, as always, before we join in the fun here and we start marching around the parade grounds, we have some drinking rules or drinking game. I don't know what it is. What are the words?
Well, Jack's words are Ghostbusters base and sequel. Hunter's are nuclear, space, and Reich. And mine are Washington, ship, and effects. And he has the bonus words as Nazi, Rex, and Moon. So we've pretty much already blown the entire episode up.
Jeez. Without even knowing the words, we've done it.
I have a historical question.
Yes.
What exactly is a Reich? And is like there's a first Reich? Is there a second Reich? Like we just kind of say the third Reich. And this morning I was like, I got to look this up. I've studied World War II and stuff, but what's Reich?
I have
My
no
German
idea.
grandfather was rolling in his grave
question.
right now. I had a grandfather who was very 100% German, and my father, who would just mess with the poor man when it was my grandfather's birthday and they brought out the cake, my father would play Nazi marching music.
Boy.
Wow.
Reich is a German word analogous in meaning to the English word realm.
Yeah, that does not clear it up. The third
So it's
realm.
kind of like a German empire or kingdom. So I don't know what happened
Is
to
that
the
like
first two.
Reich 3.0? Like it's the third iteration of the Reich?
I'm curious. So what are the first two? Now I need somebody is listening to this screaming.
Yes.
Shout out. I see
morons.
Pam Morris made it in the chat. She's been having some health problems and shit lately. So welcome back, sex cult leader.
Yeah. Fresh from the knife and everything else. He's going to be pitching for the Mets.
Sheridan,
in no
as
time.
always, working and not paying attention as he listens to Final Guys.
All right, Jack, you're the news guy. Let's do some news.
I got news. I got news for yous.
Written down.
I always do this. Okay. You guys know that the Invisible Man movie's coming out soon. Did you see the trailers for that?
I knew it was coming, but I didn't know there were trailers.
Are the trailers invisible? Can you see them? No.
You can see them. I saw them before Doc to Sleep.
I did see
Really?
it too.
I didn't get that.
Well, did anybody catch the new Charlie's Angels movie by any chance?
Believe it or not, no.
Well, Elizabeth Banks, who we all love from Brightburn, amongst other things.
40-year-old virgin.
Oh, God, I love her in that. She is going to be helming and starring in a new Invisible Woman movie.
Oh.
This is also from Universal. Now, here's the thing.
I heard Jason just lost his will to live.
I love me some Elizabeth Banks. And when the Charlie Angels movies comes out on like HBO or something, I'll watch it. I just not something I'd go to the theater to see, but I won't judge it till I see it. But I got to be honest with you. I'm not even excited about the Invisible Man movie. I'll watch it and hope for the best, but do we need like another Invisible thing? Like,
yeah, why not? They made 3 versions of The Fly in
What
the
about
50s,
the Invisible
so.
Stepchild? That could be fun. Maybe the Invisible Uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Total
understand.
Toucher.
They come out with these movies, like Batwoman or whatever the hell it's called, the show, and nobody wants to watch it because it's just a terrible iteration of something that exists. Make up a new property. Like, for God's sakes, don't come out with the Invisible Man and then next year's the Invisible Woman. Who gives a shit?
I got it. The Invisible Reich.
There you go.
The first Invisible Reich.
That could be a sequel to Iron Sky.
They could have succeeded, but we couldn't see their logos.
That would be way more interesting to me than the Invisible Woman.
I can't see Kyle.
Do you see
Wow.
Heil? I don't see Heil. I mean, look, I'll see the Invisible Man. I might see the Invisible Woman. It depends. That's one of those ones I'll go, all right, what's Rotten Tomatoes? What's the groundswell on this? I'm not going to run out to see it, but
I'm not excited
maybe.
for either one.
I mean,
There was
they
an
made 700
Invisible-
Frankenstein movies, so.
There's a 1940s Invisible Woman that was kind of a comedic movie, and they're saying that this one is actually going to have more of a horror-centric tone to it. So,
Now, if Jordan Peele did it, well, then I'm all in.
all right. So we'll see what happens there.
I hope I
Maybe
don't
we
get
won't
canceled
see.
for that little rant.
You're done. Fuck your books.
That's what everybody says in the reviews anyway.
So
Beat them to the punch. Fuck my books.
So Netflix is going to be producing a docu-series, and Ron Howard's going to be involved in it. And it's going to be about America's most haunted places. And it's going to be sort of a really serious deep dive into these places. I was very psyched when I saw this, because this sounds like Hunter. This is the kind of thing you and I would love to do: is go to a place and do a real hardcore investigation into the place, not just ghost hunters. I put an EMF meter in there and it moved, so there's a ghost here.
I don't understand any of the natural sounds, but I'm going to tell you it's all
I'll see
paranormal.
it if it's produced by Zach Baggins. That's it.
That's right. It's going to be called Donkey Punching a Ghost.
Bro.
Bro.
Donkey punch.
So was there a release date on that?
I would like this.
No, they said they're going to work on it. So, what are some of the places you'd like to see them investigate? Like, I saw one place that was like, oh, they should do the Amityville house. Another was like, oh, the Conjuring house. Is there any place you guys would like to see them do?
Trying to think. Everything's been so done to death. Find
Hunter's
something
Last
new.
Place.
Yeah, actually, and it's empty. It stands empty now. Even creepier.
There's a witch in the window.
A white witch in the window. I would like to see actual homes. I'd like to see any place that has repeated reports of poltergeist activity.
They're going to be doing the famous places, though. Like, what's that? There's like a bar somewhere. It's like a country bar or something.
Gillies. It's not Gillies.
It's not Gillies, but it's something
Mickey
like
Gillies, that place.
Is it the one they did an
Um,
episode of A Haunting about? I feel like it is.
I think everybody's gone there.
We need my daughter. She knows all this stuff. Like, I've forgotten it all.
Maybe they could do the White Lady here in Connecticut. That'd be cool.
The St. Augustine Lighthouse. There you go.
Yeah. The Amityville house would be awesome to do.
Man, that's such a tiny place. What I'd like to see anybody do is live in a place for a year.
That's some commitment.
I think you need it. I know. Well, hey, if you're going to be a professional paranormal investigator, I think you need to get in there.
All right. Let's
For
get on
years.
that. I'll produce it
All
and you
right.
star in it.
Dude, I'll do it. If they'll pay me, I'll go anywhere for a year.
Our last piece of news is this. I don't know what it is. The group, the trust, or whoever owns the rights to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is now taking pitches on the next iteration of this. And our pal Mike Flanagan flared right up on Twitter and was like, "Put me in, coach. I've got an idea."
Really?
And as well, Elijah Wood and his partner Daniel Noah also were like, "Oh my God, we would love to do this." So I was thinking to myself, those are two camps. I'd root for Flanagan, but those are like, if they could get that property into somebody who's got track records like those guys, I'd be happy to see what they could do.
Did you read Flanagan's idea for Halloween?
No.
Where Loomis was a woman?
Oh God.
Exactly. So maybe we don't give this to him.
Frederica Krueger.
Frederica Krueger, I'm woke.
I don't know. I saw that. I think that might have to be the way you go, because who is going to come in and do a better Freddy Krueger with the kind of funny, scary thing he had going on? Nobody's going to be able to top that. I almost feel like you got to do something completely radical, or else it's going to be like the last one that everybody just hates.
Yeah. You know what's it would be great to tackle it, but terrifying.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have the balls to do it. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. It's all rumor stage at this point. So that's it. That's all I got, kids.
All
That's all
these
rumors.
rumors. All right. And Jack did print it on a piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen. A piece of
Dunder Mifflin's finest.
Dunder Mifflin, the people.
In the chat says, Pam says son of Freddy. Oh my God.
Why not? Bastard son of Freddy. All right. It's time for our staff picks. So get out your fingers and start picking.
We have such sights to show you.
You know, I was just thinking about this. Have we given out close to maybe 1,800 staff picks in the time that we've been doing this?
Wow.
It's got to.
I mean, yeah, what do we usually do? 9 or 10 an episode? Holy shit, man. That's a lot.
It's crazy. Crazy. And you know what? We're just going to keep going. We're steamrolling right through your
It's
screens.
no wonder I can't remember
and your
anything. My brain is
iPods.
full of all this useless horror crap.
Oh, not more in effect than this week when I watched the movie, really liked it, said I want to put it on my list of best movies, and could not remember it 4 days later.
I've got people at work who say to me, "So, what should I be watching? Any good new series and stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I watched, the Iron Sky movies, or I watched the Trick." Like the general public is just not taking my.
Are either of you watching that show Evil?
No.
That's on
No.
CBS. Everyone keeps telling me I need to watch it, but they're all normies. So
I can't watch. This
might-
sounds so elitist, but I cannot stand network television anymore. So every time someone recommends something to me, I'm just like, eh.
That is elitist.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the best thing on network television right now.
Look, you want proof that Jason's elitist? Jason, why don't you start off with the crap that you
Okay,
watched?
here's my elitist movie of the week. It's coming up on So Bad It's Good on our release next week. It's called
Jesus.
Empire of the Dark. This movie is so glorious. It's about this guy who's a cop who gets a call from his girlfriend, and she screams the other on the phone. So he runs over to her house, and there's a portal to hell in her basement. And he goes down. He starts fighting hand puppets and running across the same bridge 78 times and jumping over lava pits that are clearly his garage floor. And then it skips 20 years in the future, and he's learning how to sword fight and preparing for the day when he's going to have to fight the devil and the hell minions again. And this movie is so freaking great. It's one of those vanity projects where one guy writes, produces, directs, stars, does the catering, Oh, I cannot wait
Fluffer.
to just show this to everybody. It is so much freaking fun. It's not weird like Bloodbeat. It's just this charming little weird hell movie that is a ton of fun. No sex samurais, but still fun.
I can't wait to watch SBIG. That might be all I need to watch in the movie.
It is really all. It's the Cliff Notes.
We try to pull the good parts.
That seriously, there are so many times when I watch So Bad It's Good, and I literally hork up whatever I'm eating or drinking. Just comes right through my nose. You're destroying my septum.
Didn't you say you're soda or something?
Yes, twice.
What
Twice
part?
in
The
one
sex
viewing.
The sex samurai part?
Oh my god.
Sex samurai, moon Nazis. We got everything in this show.
I'm as elitist as they come.
Yeah, there we go, Mr. Sex Samurai. Oh, Jack, I know you're not elitist.
All right,
You're
so
right
we're
down
coming.
in the muck.
You know what? You look up and suddenly it's December, right? And in October we were going hardcore, watching a lot of horror movies for Halloween and everything. And every so often I'd be like, there's a few movies in the old queue that I'm like, as the year is starting to end, I got to get in some of these 2019 movies so I can have a complete list for the year-end thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I got to check off some of these things. So this week I bit the bullet and I watched Annabelle Comes Home.
Hey!
All right.
And?
Once again, I'm like, wow, this movie is just a class in setting up gags. Everything is, the camera moves once, twice, 3 times. There it is. Everything is just getting you to the next. Here, we're going to play a game. And in the game, you have to stick your hand in this thing. I'm like, okay, you're setting up. Film classes should just use these Conjuring movies as setting up scares 101.
How about what do you think of the performances?
Now, I don't think this was a great movie or anything, but I will say this. It's my favorite Annabelle movie by far.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
It was Annabelle in the box in the Warren's house, wreaking havoc, and I like that a hell of a lot more than her Little House on the Prairie or whatever that stuff was. I couldn't stand the first Annabelle movie.
The first is terrible. I'll never watch the second, so I don't ruin the moment. This one I can actually watch. Actually, I have watched it twice.
And this was basically an excuse to have babysitters in a haunted house.
Yep, pretty much. The doll is in the house.
There's a, not to spoil things, but there's a werewolf in this movie that is maybe a bridge too far.
Possibly.
It
happened.
Yes, the performances were good though. And there's some look, there are some really good gags that they do with this. There's one where a girl's looking at a TV and she's on the TV and the TV is a little bit in the future, but it's her. That was very clever.
Yep.
So I enjoyed this movie. This was a definite like popcorn, and I felt like this was the movie you put on for the teenagers or the normies when you want to for Halloween, that kind of thing. So I will say it is very rare in a franchise where the third one is my favorite of the franchise of the trilogy. It's
maybe the first time ever.
Doesn't happen very often.
I went into that expecting to hate it, so I was pleasantly surprised. Not going to make my top 10 list or anything, but fun movie.
Yeah. Well, this is our first episode since Thanksgiving, and I watched what's become now, this is 3 years in a row, the annual viewing of Thanksgiving.
God, why?
Which all you need to know about this movie is gobble, gobble, motherfuckers. This is a hand puppet turkey that sleeps for every 500 something years and then comes out to wreak havoc on people. And it's got a group of teenagers who come across the turkey, who for some reason follows them. At one point, they're like, "Why are you following us?" Like, we're in a car. How'd you get here? It's, I really like this movie. I like it more every time I watch it. It's stupid, but it's funny stupid. Like, they know this is not Citizen Kane. They know this is freaking Thanksgiving.
Now, Thanksgiving 3 is on Shudder now,
which is part 2.
Which is part 2, and I think we mentioned this last week. Maybe that should be next week's movie.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they skip 2, so we can skip Thanksgiving week for reviewing.
And a lot of people still have turkey on Christmas, so it might work out. Look, if you've ever wanted to see a turkey have sex with a woman, doing it turkey style, it's awesome. There is a scene where the turkey kills a dude, this girl's father, and he pulls his face off, and he's wearing his face, which is kind of like hanging off the turkey beak, and nobody realizes it's a turkey.
He Hannibal Lecter's.
It's unbelievable. He's a foul-mouthed turkey baby, and this movie is no turkey. This was the stuffing for my for my Thanksgiving. I actually really like it. And if you want to if you still want something foul to watch on Thanksgiving, but maybe you don't like turkey, try Poultrygeist, which is a chicken-themed trauma movie, which is frickin' hysterical and breaks out into musicals.
I've never seen Poultrygeist.
Yeah, that sounds like my hell.
No, it's really not. Trust me, it's better than it should be.
You're not selling me on the musical part.
It kind of works. It's weird. You got to be in the right frame of mind. You don't have to be drunk. You just have to be ready.
Where can you see Poultrygeist? Do you know? Because that's actually...
It's on Amazon. I think it's like $1.99. So you can get it on Prime.
I think Troma was putting all their movies up there, at least a while ago. I don't know if they still are.
Why not? Don't hide them.
All right. So I watched, finally finished Friday the 13th Vengeance, the fan film that they've been working on for, I don't even know how long. It's been a while. It's the one that has, freaking everybody in it. The male girl from Joe Bob's Show, Tom McLaughlin, CJ Graham. Who else is in this?
Where did you find
Steve
this?
Dash. It's on YouTube.
There we go.
Everybody is in this. It's got the Jarvises. It's got Jason Voorhees' dad.
Jason Voorhees' dad.
He makes some appearances in it. And there's nudity in it on YouTube, which I didn't know you could do. So
I didn't know you could either.
So I started watching this when it came out. I don't know.
I'm getting nude now.
2 months ago. It came out 3 months ago. And it looked so bad on YouTube that I stopped. For some reason, it was only in 720p, and the upload quality just was not good. So I'm trying to watch it on my TV, and I'm just not, it wasn't really doing it for me. But this past week, they uploaded a 2.0 that's in 4K, so quality is much higher. This is fun. Look, this is the best Friday the 13th thing we're going to get for the next freaking 20 years until some of these guys give up these lawsuits. So the Jason in it looks amazing. They use all the Friday the 13th soundtracks, and I think there's some original music. I can't remember. So it's got the look and feel. It's a fan film, so the storytelling isn't great, but there's some cool kills. You got some boobs. You got some lesbian scenes.
How long is it?
I want to say the last 15 minutes are credits, so it was maybe an hour 20, hour 15, something like that.
Oh man, sweet spot.
Like I said, it's a fan film. It had like a $50,000 budget. They're not allowed to make money on it, so don't go in expecting Friday 6. But it was fun.
Right. That sounds better. I went to see at the Alamo. Video Vortex had a collection of home videos of Friday the 13th fan-made movies, and they were all like teenagers. 70-minute melange of this stuff.
Ouch.
Oh my God.
All you want to do is reach out to the screen and do the tracking so anything will look like it was in focus and not fuzzy and in right color. But it didn't matter. It was fun. With a crowd, it was fun because we're all just
Well, if you can watch that, then you'll really like this. So
yeah, I can handle this.
There's a link to it in the show notes, but if you just go to YouTube, make sure you do the 2.0. Don't do the top result because the quality's not great.
Right. Good. I'm going to watch it. All right, Jack.
I'll get around to it. There's either that or The Irishman, which is 3.5 hours. So
I don't know when I'm going to watch that movie.
I've decided that's one that I've got to start at like 4 o'clock on a Saturday or something.
Yep.
I'm waiting until I have the flu.
Snowstorm, flu, something like that. All right. So I mentioned that I was trying to mine Disney Plus first for anything genre related.
Boogity.
I found something that I'd been hoping to revisit for a long time. And so I pulled the trigger and I watched The Black Hole, which is,
love that movie.
I think that movie probably 79, maybe.
It's right, 70.
Star Wars was 77, and I think this was like 2 years after. But it was in the wake of the Star Wars craze, and so Disney was like, "We got to put something out." Big hype. Movie flopped. I did not see it in its original run. Saw it like when it came on HBO. Back, and I haven't watched it in 25 years or whatever the hell it's been.
I saw it when it first came out, I had the Maximilian and Vincent models that I put together. They were like my prize models. That's a dark movie, man.
It was fun to go back to this because I didn't realize like Robert Forster is like the main guy in this movie. I didn't know who Robert Forster was when I saw that movie. He was just so all I knew was Roddy McDowall's voice and Slim Pickens is the old Bob. Anthony Perkins is in it. Another one I totally forgot.
I don't think I've seen this.
And Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine, yeah. This cast is amazing.
So I totally forgot. So this was a lot of fun to go back and watch. And I remember when it came out, my friend Jimmy had seen it, and all I was like, what happens when they go in the black hole? What happens? And then a few years ago, I looked it up on YouTube to watch that scene. And so it was, I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and watched the whole thing start to finish. I know I saw it on HBO, but I don't know if I came in late or whatever. So I was very fuzzy on this. So I was really happy to go back and watch it. And yeah, Hunter, it is dark. There's just some dark stuff that happens in that.
Back when Disney could be mean.
It's got a real Lost in Space kind of feel to it, too.
Yes, which was my favorite show growing up. So, yeah.
So time capsule wise, it's fun to go back and you kind of see those trademark Disney effects from back then. Mm-hmm. It's good special effects for the time. And listen, the whole thing is building up for them going into the black hole. So it was fun to see that whole trippy sequence.
Yes, kind of 2001 for
so
kids.
So is it worth me checking out as somebody who's never seen it? I won't get any nostalgia.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's good. Just
for the cast alone. You got to see it.
Cool.
All right. So which one of you guys recently saw The Furies?
Me.
You.
Mm-hmm.
Not the furries. So I decided I'm going to watch The Furries.
That's what I always almost say every time.
One of my editors really liked it. So I said, all right, let me check it out. So this is the one I couldn't remember, even though I really liked it. It's quick, it's dirty, it's Australian. Once you show me a movie's made in Australia, I have higher hopes for it than the regular Trek. I mean, this is the companion piece to the Belko experiment. So it's 8 women are abducted, dropped into the outback, and they're being pursued by 8 mass killers that are kind of reminiscent of the 80s slashers. Mm-hmm. And it's trying to figure out what the women are called beauties and the killers are called beasts. And it's the whole thing of trying to see who will be the last to survive. And if a beast is connected to a beauty. So if you kill the wrong beauty, then the beast's heads explode. It's the Belko experiment in Australia. For that, I had fun. I mean, there's not a lot of heavy lifting to this movie, but the gore was really good.
Crazy gore in this.
Yeah, it was sick. There were some scenes like, holy crap.
The axe to the face scene, I was like, Jesus.
Oh, slowly peeling her face off from her jawline up into like the middle of her face. I liked it. I know you may not have liked it, but I dug
like it.
And I'm desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did? I'm desperate to find something to put on my top 13 list. I think I'm up to 9.
Yeah.
So this is making the list.
I liked it. The story was so reminiscent of about 5 other movies. That was my only real complaint. It's The Running Man.
Yeah.
You know? But
The Running Man, The Most Dangerous Game. There's a whole bunch. Wasn't there another movie that was similar to the Belko experiment recently? I mean, it seems to me we have
There's
this
one with Samara Weaving.
What the hell's that?
Mayhem.
Yeah. So this seems to be a theme now. It's going. I guess we all feel like we're just puppets in a.
I've liked all the movies.
Controlled world under the world
I'm
order.
digging this new subgenre. Yeah, The Furries is fun.
Yeah. So check out The Furies and then check out The Furries. That's on another channel.
And then the Bronies.
Hey, a jabroni.
All right, so I watched a new movie that I didn't think would be horror, and I wouldn't mention on this show, but after watching it, it's kind of torture porny at a lot of points, and that is Rambo Last Blood. Holy shit, is this movie violent. So
this is making a horror podcast, so this is telling me something.
There are some scenes in this that are freaking brutal. If you've seen the 4th one, you know the gore in that movie is crazy. And this one has the gore, but in the 4th one, there weren't people being slowly cut up and mutilated and shit like that. In this one, there is quite a bit of that. It's tonally not very Rambo-like at all. So when it came out, the who wrote that? David Morrell, I think. He came out against this movie saying this is not the character I wrote. And that stuff typically annoys me because, okay, we're in the 5th movie in the series, dude. Like, this is not your character anymore, you know? But in watching it,
I could see it.
Watching it, I actually agree with him. This is very different from those. It's fun. It's a good movie. I don't know if fun's the right word. It's a pretty good movie. It's not great. It's better than Rambo 3, but you know that's not saying a whole lot. But
how swole up is a 75-year-old Sylvester Stallone?
He's looking old in this, but that dude's neck. I mean, he could freaking haul a cart around if you just threw something around him. He's just a beast. So
God.
Now, a guy I work with came in this morning and had also seen this movie and it was the biggest pile of garbage he's ever seen.
He must not watch many movies. I'll send him.
Far bigger piles.
Yeah, like I said, this is probably the 4th best in the Rambo series, so it's not great, but I enjoyed it. It's crazy violent, so if you're looking for something like that, pop this sucker in.
So weird. He's doing this at age in his 70s, and you got Clint Eastwood doing the Atlanta Olympic bomber movie. He's almost 90, by the way.
Get off my lawn.
He might be the oldest director to ever make a movie that anyone gives a shit about.
Although, does anybody really care about the Rachel Jewell movie? I don't know.
I really want to see it.
Yeah,
not just for Olivia Wilde.
So, yeah, anyway.
It'll be good because nobody knows who actually did the bombing. Everybody knows Jewel's name, so I'm actually happy that that's going to get out.
So what's up next on your leaderboard there, Jack? Anything?
I'm done.
You done? I have one more bullet in the chamber. It's a book. It's oh crap! Now I forgot the name of it. Oh, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, who did Final Girls. Jason, me and you have to study Riley because Riley is able to write horror books where they're not horror, so he can make lots of money off of them.
I'm in.
Very good writer. This book is kind of like it's a girl who's kind of down and out in her luck. Her boyfriend just cheated on her, so she left him. She's got no family, no money, and she answers an ad to stay in this Gothic house, building right by Central Park, reminiscent of the Dakota from Rosemary's Baby, which they mention in the book. So he knows what the fuck he's doing. And she's going to get paid $12,000 to babysit this apartment for 3 months because the woman who lived in it died, and they don't like to leave apartments empty. So she's like, it's too good to be true. Of course it is. So she settles in, and there's all kinds of rules that she's given. Like she can never spend the night outside the apartment. She can't have any visitors. She gets messages in the dumbwaiter. There's other apartment sitters in the building, and then something happens to somebody, and things. I don't want to give anything away, and things unfold. But the cool thing is, my mind said, "Oh, this is going to go in 3 different directions," and I'm pretty high on this one, and it just went in a 4th. That I didn't see coming. And that's what Riley Sager does. He takes like tropes that we all know about and we're comfortable with, and he just turns them on their head. So great. It's my favorite book so far. And I've read 3.
Do they ever say, "Get off my lawn" in it?
No.
I haven't read any of his books, but you've sold me. I will grab one.
Didn't I give you one of them? Didn't I mail you like Final Girls maybe or something?
One of them, you sent me Ernest Hemingway, which I haven't read yet. And oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It's like.
Okay, well never mind. I already have.
I think it was Lock Every Door. Not Lock Every Door. The last time I lied, I think I sent that to you.
I shall read
good,
that.
Great book.
I got a book too. I read Exponential by Adam Caesar. Yeah, second book of his I've read in a row.
I kid. I love him.
That fluffy-haired bastard.
I don't know how many of his. I maybe read 3 of his books. I can't remember. This is the simplest one by far. It's the Blob. A monster absorbs people and gets bigger and kills. But it's cool. I dig his style. I like the way he does characters and quick little action set pieces and stuff. So if you're a fan, this is going to fit right in. And I'm a fan. So it's definitely worth the read. I got it for like $1 too. He did a sale or something. So,
Jesus.
I'll do that any day. Yeah. So
Kids
check out Adam
balls.
Caesar. Good stuff.
Watch his podcast.
Of course.
But, after hours. Jesus. We're not that crazy. All right. It's time to get to our double feature. And thank God we have plenty of time set aside for this. We didn't go too long because we got 2 movies. Dos, the First Reich and the Second Reich. Iron Sky. 1 und 2.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Sprechen Sie final, guys? How should we tackle
I know nothing.
Hogan? By the way, could you imagine the balls it took to get Hogan's Heroes on the air back in the day? We're going to make a comedy set in a prisoner of war camp with Nazis. Jack, do you want to break down Iron Sky 1?
Difficult plot.
It's gonna take
I just did this like last week. At the end of World War II, a group of Nazis fled and hid on the dark side of the moon in a moon base.
Mm-hmm.
And then in modern times, a spaceship from the United States lands to promote the president or something like that.
The big flag.
The astronauts are captured by the space Nazis, and then this leads to a attempted invasion of Earth by the space Nazis, and madness ensues.
Pretty much. By the way, you're leaving out the most offensive part for them is that the astronaut is black.
He is black, and they have never. Most of them have never seen a black man before.
Right. So what do? They turn him into a white
He's
guy.
black, and his spacesuit is black, and the white guy's spacesuit is white.
Oh, Jason, this is your first time seeing this. You broke your Nazi moon base cherry. What'd you think?
This is a better movie than it should be. This should not be enjoyable. It should be god awful. And the whole time I kept watching, I'm like, this is not good, but it's not bad. I'm kind of enjoying this. It's just the effects are shockingly decent for a movie with its budget. And they just go for it. And I appreciate any movie that goes for it, even if it falls on its face at times, which I don't even know if this really did all that much. It's enjoyable. If this is one of those movies, if you get the humor, you're going to like it. If this humor doesn't hit you, you're going to think this is the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen. And I enjoyed it. So I can't complain. I mean, it was free on Prime. This is one of those movies that I would stumble across and just be like, hey, that was pretty fun.
So, Jack, you're a Holocaust denier. What'd you think of this movie?
Segue.
I'm telling you, when somebody described this movie to me, I was like, oh my God, I'm watching that tonight. And I think it's a lot of fun. The special effects are way better than I expected. I thought it could have been a little bit funnier, but it's fine. Both movies struck me as a bunch of guys were sitting around at a bar and they started coming up with a story. What if there was Nazis on the moon? Oh yeah. And they sat around throwing ideas out and spitballing. Oh, and then this should happen, and they should turn the black guy white because of all that stuff. And then one of the guys was an actual screenwriter and went home with notes on napkins and actually pieced this thing together. And when they made it, they probably howled because can you believe this actually got made? Oh my God!
Yeah, I think it was crowdfunded.
The second one
too.
was for sure, or some of it.
Oh,
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, Jack, I agree. I think this is like a So High You're Drinking the Bong Water fan fiction come to life. Fans of Nazis and space movies and comedies. I love the obvious Sarah Palin as president.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love This movie, when I first saw it, it just blew me away. I was like, they're playing it so earnestly, but yet with tongue in cheek. It's got Udo Kier in it. They keep calling him Heil Hitler, and he keeps insisting he's not Hitler. This has a little bit of everything, man. This is like, I thought this was throwing the kitchen sink into a movie until I saw part 2, and then I realized no, this was just like a dish towel. But like you said, Jason, the special effects are good. I mean, they should be wretched. They should be sci-fi channel quality, but they're not. And it holds up. There's no like real dull parts in it either. There's no like I can knock off for 10 minutes here. It's just straight nuttiness. So I dug it. Dug it then, and I dug it
So when
now.
I saw Sarah Palin, I was thinking, didn't this come out in 2012? So I looked it up, and they started working on this in 2006, back when Sarah Palin was relevant. And there are a ton of American humor jokes from the McCain-Obama election, which when this came out was so long ago. I'm like, these jokes weren't relevant when this movie came out, let alone watching it now. You could tell it took them a long time to get this movie together.
I mean, if you're going to watch a movie with fake Sarah Palin, you've got this or Who's Nailin' Palin with the great Lisa Ann. That's it. So this is your two choices.
That's next week's movie.
Yeah, baby.
The Maverick. I was kind of surprised by there's a lot of characters in this. There's Sarah Palin and then her like assistant who becomes like a big player in the movie, like
her publicist or whatever she is, with her boobs sticking out and her leather pants.
Became a video game
character. Feather.
She did. She looked like somebody in one of your Hunger books. She could have been like Cass's evil twin.
I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. I have to think about that.
She was just badass and looked good. So,
okay.
I did love the moon base shaped like a swastika.
Oh, so ridiculous!
Oh my god! And defied this. Who cares about the laws of physics? Everybody can walk just as normal.
They're driving cars,
everywhere.
no problem. They're driving the same cars from World War II.
Yes. How did they get that shit
thing
up
I loved
there?
is their technology has not progressed beyond World War II technology, and yet they're on a giant moon base. It's just amazing. They have gravity inside and everything. They can breathe.
The moon base is so big it can house their Gottermandung mega ship, and it takes up a little tiny piece of the entire base.
Can I ask a question? I'm going to sound naive again. They say it's built on the dark side of the moon, but doesn't the moon spin? So, like, isn't it sometimes in the light, or is there something where one side?
There is a dark side that we don't see. In fact,
we never see the other side of the moon.
Right? Didn't China just land or Japan just land the first ship on the dark side of the moon? So we're finally getting pictures.
I have no idea.
So yeah, we don't see it because I think it's
that's what I'm asking.
I don't know how that works.
I thought I've like heard things back and forth, but never like actually thought about it until this. It's like, oh.
Pink Floyd didn't do this for nothing.
The sex cult in the chat is saying, no, the moon does not spin.
There we go.
Yes, the Nazis are just
there you go,
hanging out.
Sit and spin on that.
Unseen.
By the way, this whole thing, the whole attack is based on the fact that they need a freaking cell phone. Like when they discover that there's something like a cell phone, that's like, well, we got to go start attacking. We need cell phones.
Yep.
Which actually moves, like in the second part, it kind of morphs into that because there's a definite Apple cell phone technology obsession by the Nazis.
For a movie with a limited budget, they go to a lot of locations. Usually a low budget movie is just in one or two places. But one of the strengths of this movie, I think, is they get to the moon base. There's a lot of stuff that happens there. Then they go to Earth. And then when they're on Earth, there's a number of places and things that happen. And then they're back out in space later. And I think that's part of what keeps the movie fresh. You don't just kind of dwell.
Right. Full-on space battle. It's not like that boring Battlestar Galactica show.
I will fight you.
I keyed again. I love that.
Yeah,
shit.
the way they were able to do the green screen work in this, I don't know how they were able to stretch their budget to get the effects that they did, but it makes the movie a lot less boring because they're just doing some crazy shit in this movie.
Yeah. And I remember after I saw that movie, I saw a coming attraction of a potential sequel, and it just showed a Nazi riding a dinosaur in the snow. And I was like, oh, if there is a God in heaven, please let this thing come to be. Because I could watch these kinds of movies all the time if they did them right. Which it's a low bar.
Yeah, did you guys ever see Kung Fury, the YouTube short? It was like 15 minutes. It's very much in the vein of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys riding
I gotta
dinosaurs
watch
and
that
kung
one.
fuing Hitler and the whole shebang. And similarly,
I
it has
want in
great
life.
effects. So if you like that, I think Kung Fury is actually way better than this. So if you liked this, you'll probably love Kung Fury.
Mm. That's a bold statement, Jason, because this has the best effects
Yeah, I
of
would
the
say Kung
goddamn
Furies are
year.
better. But, the movie's newer too, so.
True. Well, there is a newer Iron Sky called Iron Sky 2.
The
What is
Coming
it?
Race?
What's the tagline?
The
The Coming Race. There we go. The Coming Race. Jack, do you want to tackle the?
no.
No. You want
One of you lazy bastards
All right,
can recap
all right.
the movie.
Here we go. It's like 46 years later because I don't want to give away what happens, but bad things happen to the Earth at the end of Iron Sky 1, where you think this is over. But it turns out as the Earth was missiling itself to death, a bunch of survivors got in a ship and went to the Nazi moon base and were accepted in open arms by what's the blonde
no
woman's
idea.
name? Renata. I think Renata. Anyway, she was the Nazi teacher who turned into a capitalist sympathizer.
She was a smoke show. She was a smoke show too, by the way.
She's gorgeous, and she fell in love with the African American astronaut at the end of the first one. They were making out in front of the class. So this one is like 46 years later, and things are not going well because old Nazi technology is not holding up very well. And Renata now has a daughter who looks like she could be one of like Will
Looks like
Smith's
Jada
kids.
Pinkett.
It's like-
I mean, it's crazy.
Straight up, right? So she's kind of like this. She's an action hero in the making who knows how to fix everything. I'm like, there's tons of people up there. You're the only one who knows how to fix anything? That's
Yeah.
impossible. Because shit's
Yeah, that's
happening all
definitely the
time.
biggest problem with the story in this movie. You're right.
Yeah, that's it. So yes, they're on the base, and then they discover that there's stuff going on in the Earth because the Earth is hollow, and all the stories are true, and there is a race older than mankind living there, but they're also Nazis, and there's dinosaurs, and they go there to get this literally the Holy Grail, which pretty much just makes a ship run. But whatever, that's fine. It was worth the adventure. So you're going to get everything. This is the kitchen sink. This is the kitchen sink, the dishwasher, the stove, the refrigerator. It's all thrown in.
Got the lizard people, like the secret
Hollow
society
Earth.
of lizard people.
Yeah. Hollow Earth, dinosaurs, Nazis, Hitler back because
Udo Kier, baby.
it turns out Sarah Palin, along with most world leaders, are lizard people.
Including Hitler.
Hitler is alive
Who was there?
and
It was
part
Hitler,
lizard.
Bin Laden, Sarah Palin. God, I mean, it was everybody. Stalin.
There's like a Christian and a Muslim guy.
And Margaret Thatcher was there, I think.
Yes. I mean, I'm telling you, that's a barroom conversation. Like they're like, what do we do for a sequel? What are some of those kind of like tropes that? What about like the government's really lizard people or whatever? Oh, that's good. Put that down. Write that one down.
Yeah. The scary thing is that every single conspiracy that is explored in this movie, there are tons of people who believe in them wholeheartedly.
Yep.
So either it's pandering to them or telling them you're fucking out of your minds.
It's hard to tell because these movies are so out there. Like, I don't know how much they're making fun of people, how much they're like, maybe. I don't know.
It could be. There is so much that
And-
happens in this movie.
And there's like the new age cult guys.
Oh, led by Tom Green as a cult leader.
Jobs, whatever they were called, the Jobs cult.
They're jobists because they worship Steve Jobs' cell phone technology
Extremely
once
amped
again.
about their closed ecosystem for their smartphones.
Oh, and by the way, Steve Jobs is a lizard person and alive.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
In fact, they must hate Apple because they did not make Steve Jobs look very good at all.
Well, they
in
got
this
Tom
movie.
Green to play him, so that tells you about all you need to know.
Tom Green was
So
amazing.
the effects in this, if you think they're good in the first one, they are mind-boggling in this. I mean, there are times when you're like, okay, the budget is low here, but there are other times when, how the hell is this in this movie?
I know.
All the stuff in space looks incredible.
Yeah, the space is very impressive.
And I thought the dinosaurs, like it cost them $15 million to make.
I thought I looked it up earlier and it was like that was like 15 million euros or something. So, it's like more than that. Yeah, here
Really?
it says budget is 17 million euros. So what's that? Maybe 25?
Oh. Yeah.
So this
Wow,
actually
Jesus.
isn't that small of a budgeted movie.
No, this is 17 Blumhouse
And the box
movies.
office for this was $400,000.
Excluding Finland. Now, don't forget, these are Finland movies.
17 Blumhouse movies.
It's pretty close.
I swear it's not a joke.
Blumhouse is watching and is going, "You're kidding me. I could have made 17 movies with this budget."
Duplass could make 400 creep movies on that budget.
Tubby Time on the Dark Side of the Moon.
I want to hear, what's your favorite part of this movie?
Oh man.
I have mine.
When the old chick from the first movie turns young and pretty again.
So shocking. HR, hello.
Actually, my favorite part is when the Tom Green people get attacked and killed.
Eaten by Hitler.
Yeah, like that seems awesome. Like this.
I just off the top of my head, when the woman kung fu kicks the T-Rex and kills it, and then a safe falls on Hitler and crushes him. That's something.
Dude, that is mine. I saw that. I said I could watch this.
We're just spoiling the hell out of
whatever
it already.
I could watch that over and over and over again because she drop kicks a T-Rex, and then Hitler is telling her a whore and what he's going to do to her, and just the debris crushes him. End of Hitler.
Yep. Yeah,
Udo Kier is back in this
that
too.
man is such a treasure. I love him and everything.
He can't be killed. Could you imagine a long car ride with him?
No, that would actually probably be pretty awful.
He's in Andy Warhol's Dracula, isn't he? He's Dracula. Yeah.
The thing I love about Udo Kier is he just plays Udo Kier. His Hitler is the same as his vampire and Blade, as his Dracula. He's just himself. He does the same voice inflections.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's what he's hired for. Like Klaus Kinski. Nobody hired Klaus Kinski. Can you just lose yourself in this role? No.
Exactly.
You want
don't
a crazy
hire
guy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger to do Shakespeare. You get him to smash people.
You don't hire Arnold Schwarzenegger to pretend he's a teacher. No. Yeah, every time I see Udo Kier, I literally think, would I or would I not want to ride in a car with him, like cross country? And like, at what point would he kill me or vice versa?
Was he in the Cell Block 99?
Yes.
He was like a gangster or something, wasn't he? He was Udo
What else could he
Kier.
be? Yeah, he can't be like a loving grandfather. Oh, ich habe hier mein Liebchen. By the way, the saddest part of this movie is that the astronaut did not survive to make it to the second one. So I was wondering what was on his calendar where he couldn't be there.
We did get that burly bald guy that they recruit to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And then him and the Russian guy, the goofy Russian guy, they both get like shit and just get up and hold it and run.
Yeah, the Russian guy got shot in the stomach, but later he has a bandage on his arm. So that happened.
And by the way, the muscle guy, he was awesome. He was awesome.
He was getting eaten by raptors in one scene, and then in the next scene, he's okay.
Yeah.
They just captured him.
Well, he literally could not be killed, as we learn. There's almost nothing you can do to get him down. Yeah. And he's a woke character. You'll find out in the end.
Yeah, a little bit of a joke in there, but whatever. Yeah, honestly, this was another one that I'm watching and I'm like, this is definitely not in my top list of the year. This isn't something I'm going to recommend to 99.9% of people. But if you like the Kung Fury stuff, then this is gonna be your bag. So
yeah,
there's a certain segment of my friends that I will recommend this right off the bat. Like, oh God, you got to go watch Iron Sky. Yes, guys like you. And then another population of my friends, segment of my friends, who I will never utter a word about this movie.
They would judge you harshly.
They just wouldn't get it. Listen, I tried explaining Jojo Rabbit to people this morning. And I've done it a couple times where I'm like, so it's about a kid and he's in Hitler Youth and Adolf Hitler is his imaginary friend. And then they're looking at me, I'm like, I'm not doing this justice. It's a very funny point. So if I went from Jojo Rabbit to now, I want to tell you about Iron Sky with moon Nazis.
I go so far as to say, if you don't like this movie, you don't have fun in your life. Your life is bereft of joy and fun and giddiness.
Wow.
I would go so. I mean, seriously, if you can't have fun with this, what can you have fun with? Watching kittens play with yarn?
Judgy Shea over here.
Yeah, you actually wish like sci-fi would take a little note from these movies. Be like, you know what? If you upped your game a little bit on. I know the sci-fi movies cost like $5 to make.
Yeah.
But maybe they threw a little bit extra in.
These guys know how to stretch a buck, so at least hire them to do the effects. I mean,
yeah, really.
The green screen work, particularly in the second one, was very impressive at times.
And this is coming from you. That's a high compliment because you look for that stuff.
That shit really annoys me in big budget movies.
So do you guys want to see a third one?
Yes.
It's never going to happen. This movie lost its ass.
So far.
So it made...
Give it time.
Cost about $25 million. They made $400,000 excluding Finland. It made such a small amount of money that I think they got $500,000 from Indiegogo. And they have not and are not going to send Blu-rays to the people who backed them, and that was their reward. They're not even going to print them. So they are completely out of money. It is over.
I guess we're just going to have to write it.
Yeah, people typically don't like when you lose $25 million, apparently. So
I don't know.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Look how much money Ishtar lost. Well, everybody still made movies after that. This could become a cult classic and make money. They had to make money off the sale to Netflix.
I have no idea. I mean, look, if you can make Charlie's Angels and then get The Invisible Woman right afterwards, maybe these guys are still rocking. Who knows?
That's right. So I can only hope. I have ideas, fellas. Call me when I'm drunk.
All right, I'll give you an hour.
Sci-Fi Channel could pick this up.
So, is it safe to say there's a 3 thumbs up for these two movies?
Sure. They're enjoyable.
Yeah. I would watch. These are ones I could watch every now and then and just be perfectly happy.
If you're looking for something on a Saturday afternoon to just have some fun with, this is perfect.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm with you.
All right. So, there we go. We're all going to march to the same beats. By the way, I urge you all, if you want to see these movies, see Jojo Rabbit. Please, dear God.
Is that in theaters now?
It is. They take Heil Hitler and just beat it to the ground, where every time you hear it, you no longer like get angry or, oh my God, you just think, oh, what a dick. Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. Got to see it. We don't know what next week's movie is going to be yet. Thank God it's not The Boy Part 2.
Yeah.
Thank God they pushed that forward. Anybody who wants us to watch Black Christmas, that's not going to happen either when that comes out on... That's Friday the 13th, right? It's coming out. So we're going to see. Maybe it'll be Thanksgiving 3. Who knows?
I mean, look.
It's on Shudder.
Why not go for 3 weeks in a row of absolutely ridiculous movies?
Yeah, but we're enjoying them. This is the thing.
Yeah, we're in the dead zone here. Well, I mean, there was Trick. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, Trick. Such a treat. So we don't know. We'll announce it on the old social medias before then. And please, as always, give us a like, tell a friend, tell an enemy about us, and go on iTunes, give us a rating. We like that. It keeps us going. Until next time, goodbye.
Arrivederci, baby.
Game over, man.